We're right now at Aero India 2025, the biggest defense expo in the country, and around me is a buffet of air flights, bombers, choppers, and we also have an expert here who's going to give us an idea about all these aircrafts that are lying here in Aero India 2025. Behind me is the choppers, as you can see. If I can tell my camera person to come a little closer, as there is a vehicle passing by. Sir, to start off, I'm joined in by Mr. Sandeep Unithan. He's the editor of News 9 Plus and a defense enthusiast. Sir, firstly, give us a sense of all these aircrafts that are around us. How big is this event for the country?
Well, Vaji, Aero India, the 15th edition of Aero India is the biggest Aero India ever. And it actually has a story about India's place in world affairs. India is possibly the only place in the world right now where you have both the Russian fifth generation fighter aircraft that you see behind me, the Su-57, and further down you have the American F-35. That's another fifth generation fighter aircraft. Both Russia and the America have decided to field their fifth generation fighter aircraft here in India. Both of them are vying for defense contracts from India. Russia, of course, wants India to buy the Su-57 as a replacement and a successor to the very successful Su-30 MKI, which we bought from Russia nearly 3 decades ago. The Americans want us to buy the F-35, which is a fifth generation fighter aircraft. It's an air-to-ground fighter aircraft primarily. So both of these countries are in competition with us, and you can see both of these aircraft are in competition with each other for the very lucrative Indian order. So, of course, it is for India to decide which path it wants to take. Does it want to go down the American path of fifth generation fighter aircraft, or it wants to take the Russian fifth generation fighter, or as Defense Minister Rajnath Singh said just 2 days ago, that India wants to focus on its own indigenous fifth generation fighter aircraft. But apart from the fifth generation fighter contest, Vaji, this is a place literally for Indian industry to gather, for them to find partnerships with other defense, collaborations with the people who can help set up a defense ecosystem. So this is literally a coming together of the entire Indian defense industrial complex. This happens once every 2 years, and it's a great opportunity for India's growing aerospace sector to come together to look for partners both in India and abroad.
So one thing is very clear, that nothing is impossible for India. We've brought Russians and the Americans together in our soil. So I think that is one of the biggest takeaways. So what are the other takeaways? You spoke about various defense deals that are happening. What are we looking forward for as a country?
Well, we are looking forward to get partners who can give us very critical technology, Vaji. The fact is that we haven't made our own fighter aircraft engine, and that is going to be literally the most important project for the Indian military going forward. We want to develop our own fighter aircraft engines. We don't want to be dependent on the Americans or the Russians for this engine. There have been attempts in the past to make the Kaveri fighter aircraft engine. That did not work. Now there are attempts to start a new aircraft engine project, which is going to be really critical because you have a large number of fighter aircraft programs. You have the LCA Mark 1, the LCA Mark 2, the TED-BF, the deck-based fighter. You have the AMCA, which is the most critical of all, the indigenous fifth generation fighter aircraft, for which you need to have engines, because engines, Vaji, are literally the heart and soul of an aircraft. And if you don't develop and build your own engines, you will be dependent on foreign companies for these engines. And that's one reason that India is actually looking out for foreign partnerships to restart its own indigenous engine manufacturing capability.
So is it safe to say that we are late to the party of fireflights, because UAVs have become a prominent thing now? The warfare is completely changed also.
Absolutely. Warfare has completely changed, and you're looking at drone warfare that has literally come up front and center with the Russia-Ukraine war, which is now entering its 4th year a few days from now. Drone warfare is here, but so are man fighters. So you're looking at something like a teaming up of man fighter aircraft, a smaller number of man fighter aircraft, with a larger number of drones. There are concepts on display here at Aero India, which is of manned-unmanned teaming, where you have one manned aircraft controlling multiple unmanned aircraft. So the unmanned aircraft can take on the risks of flying into enemy airspace, which is heavily defended, can carry out various roles which would be too hazardous for manned aircraft to attempt. So that is the kind of halfway house that they're looking at going forward. But all of these capabilities are right here at Aero India. You have drone manufacturers, you have aircraft engine manufacturers, you have component manufacturers, you have defense ministers from various countries coming forward and looking at partnerships with India, looking for industrial partners in India, and of course you have Russia and the United States here with their fifth generation fighter aircraft.
So before we started, you were talking about these two flights, especially these two firefighters. One, you said that this is the Russian and this is the Indian, and the Russians want us to buy that one. So if you could tell us the significant difference.
This is the Su-30, the Sukhoi 30 MKI, which is a twin-seat fighter aircraft that we bought from the Russian Federation almost 3 decades ago in 1996. The first aircraft were delivered in 1997. We have built them indigenously, we have assembled them indigenously, and these are the largest number of fighter aircraft in the Indian Air Force. We have more than 270 Su-30 MKIs. It is what the MiG-21 once was for the Indian Air Force. It's literally the backbone of the Indian Air Force. The plan about 15 years back was to transition from the Su-30 MKI to the Su-57, a fourth generation fighter which would be replaced by a fifth generation fighter. Now the joint collaboration between India and Russia for this fifth generation fighter aircraft was signed somewhere in 2006 or 2007, but then there were differences over the work share, the fact that India felt that we were not getting enough know-how to design our own aircraft. Russia had already designed a lot of the aircraft themselves, so there was no learning for us in that. So in 2018, India decided to withdraw from the partnership for this fifth generation fighter aircraft, and Russia continued to develop it. And what you're seeing here today is one of the final variants of that program that began more than 15 years back. It's a very successful aircraft. It's a very rugged and robust aircraft. We've just seen it flying in the air over Yelahanka. It takes off effortlessly. It just took off in 10 seconds. We could barely believe that an aircraft of this size and capability could take off in just 10 seconds. It just tells you how short a runway it would really need to get airborne, and it's literally wowing the crowds around here. When the aircraft flies, when the Su-57 flies, everyone's looking skywards. So this is the project that India was supposed to collaborate with the Russian Federation. It didn't happen, but they're very positive of the fact that India could once again relook at the Su-57, given the delay in the acquisition of our advanced medium combat aircraft, our indigenous AMCA project. The Russians have once again offered this as a stopgap for India's own fifth generation fighter aircraft. You're looking at the induction of the AMCA taking something like 10 to 15 years. That's a gap. It's a gap that the Indian Air Force says is unacceptable, given the fact that both China and Pakistan are getting fifth generation fighter aircraft of their own, and therefore there is a strong case being made now for India to buy a limited number of these fifth generation fighter aircraft, possibly either from Russia or from France or some other country, to plug these capability gaps until the time that we can develop, build and field our own fifth generation fighter aircraft.
Two quick questions, sir. All this is happening under the Make in India banner. Anything that you can point out here and say that this is Indian made or that is Indian made over here?
Well, I think if you can look just in front of you, these two machines
If I can tell my camera person, show these.
These two machines that you see here are a tribute to Indian helicopter development. That you have on the right side, you have the light utility helicopter, and on the left you have the light attack helicopter. Now both of these are completely indigenously designed, developed and manufactured. The light utility helicopter is in fact one of the fastest aviation platforms to go from the drawing board to base camp Siachen in less than 6 years. It was designed, built in just about 5 years' time. It's a record for any machine in India. That is undergoing trials currently. It has got huge potential in replacing all of the Cheetah and the Chetak helicopters that exist with the Indian Armed Forces. There are more than 300 of these machines. This is one machine that is being tipped to replace the Cheetah, Chetaks, which are all from the 1960s and the 1970s. And here you have the light combat helicopter called the Prachand, which India is also buying in large numbers. This is again a completely indigenously designed, developed and manufactured helicopter. These, I think, are two of the most important aircraft here on display. And of course, further down you have the light combat aircraft Mark 1, Mark 1A, the Tejas, which is literally the pride of the Indian Air Force for the fact that it's got very high indigenous content. Of course, the engines need to be developed. We need to have an indigenous engine for that. They are using American engines right now, and there are a couple of delays in the program because of the fact that we have to wait for American engines to be developed. But that is something that's a work in progress, and ultimately the aim would be to transition to a larger, more capable fighter aircraft program which will have indigenous engines, which will have our own engines like the Kaveri. And that is one of the reasons that we are looking at collaborations with various countries like France possibly to kickstart our own engine development, so that we have, in the form of the AMCA, we will have an aircraft that is fully indigenous. Possibly the Mark II of the AMCA will have an engine that is completely designed and developed in India as well, and it will be a fully indigenous Indian fighter aircraft program. So that's the reason that the LCA is so important. It's a stepping stone onto much bigger projects. The LCA Mark I and the LCA Mark II will eventually lead to the AMCA, and that will lead to India becoming self-sufficient when it comes to fighter aircraft production.
So my last question, sir. These 2 days were the business days. The next 2 days is the day of action. What is going to be in store? Because our viewers will be watching this. They will also be coming. So what is in store for them, if you could let them know?
Well, you're going to see a lot of deals being announced over here. We've heard of deals for MROs from the Americans to set up repair and refurbishment centers here in India. There have been a lot of industry delegations, partnerships, all of that. A lot of enthusiasm about the Make in India story. You have foreign companies coming here announcing joint ventures with their Indian partners. And I think the biggest achievement of Aero India, and of course the government's achievement, is the fact that it's managed to change Aero India from being a purely import-oriented showcase to an indigenization platform. That earlier on you were looking at Aero India as being a showcase for foreign vendors to showcase their capabilities. That was a 3-decade-old when the Aero India began 3 decades ago. But now it is slowly, as India starts developing its own machines, it develops its Dhruvs and its light combat helicopters and its Tejas. You're seeing more confidence. You're seeing India wanting to create its own indigenous aviation, military aviation ecosystem. And you're looking at partnerships for that. So from off-the-shelf purchases of defense hardware, as was the case several decades ago, you're now looking at something like an indigenous content, very high indigenous content for these Indian platforms. You're looking at collaborations where the foreigners will come and transfer technology. We'll start building and assembling in India, and then hopefully Indian industry will then kick in and start manufacturing our own aerospace platforms, our own fighters, combat helicopters and utility helicopters. So that's literally the game plan here, Vijay.
So it looks like the ecosystem of aviation, military aviation at least, is going to grow in the country. Thank you so much, Sandeep. So this was Sandeep who gave us his bit of the idea behind Aero India, because he's somebody who's been covering this or coming here for the last 15-20 years. Bringing you this report from Aero India, Yelahanka, where all these flights and choppers and bombers are on your display. This is Mohammad Wajiullah with my camera person Muthu Raj for News 9.